Hey everyone, it is July 13th. It is a Tuesday, and the year is 2021. It's time for the daily news. Guys, as always, in the description below, we're going to have our today's three articles, and as always, we have a right-wing article, we have a middle bipartisan article, and we have a left-wing article. Let's get right into it. Guys, your first article today, our first article, we're going to start with the right wing today. This is a Blaze article. Headline goes, Stacey Abrams receives Emmy nomination for playing herself in 1-minute voiceover spot on Blackish. Sub headline. The former Georgia gubernatorial candidate even predictably touted absentee and early voting during the, quote, performance. So, I pause this video, click on the Blaze article, and then watch the video that's in it of Stacey Abrams voicing over herself, and then continue. I'll do that right now, and also like and subscribe while you do that. Okay, so if you watch it, it's the show Blackish. I haven't seen this show. I guess it's like a cartoon about black people, I suppose. I don't know really what it's really about. Someone comment what it's about. And Anthony Anderson Zoom calls Stacey Abrams, and she tells him something like, oh, you have to raise money for Congress, basically. And if anyone knows who Stacey Abrams is, she's a failed governor candidate for Georgia. She lost to Brian Kemp, and she has not conceded that loss to this date. And this is 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. And she's a big proponent of mail-in voting, I believe. Excuse me. But what this is she's receiving an Emmy nomination for a 1-minute voiceover of herself on a cartoon. Guys, just think about how, actually not performance award winning something like that ought to be. And it sort of reminds me of when Barack Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize after being president for about 35 days. What's with the leftist people? I mean, Stacey Abrams is a liberal Democrat. We know that. She ran as Democrat. What's with them getting these participation awards? Awards that generally ordinary people have to spend their whole life trying to earn, and they're just getting them. Guys, I don't care about this cartoon or Stacey Abrams, really. I think she's kind of washed up at this point. She needs to concede and write a book or something. But what is so funny about this is that it's of course, this award show is in Los Angeles, right? It's the Emmys. There was a documentary she produced called "The Fight for Democracy," but it's she lost, guys, and now they're trying to give her an Emmy for performance on a show. It'd be like if Donald Trump got an Emmy for when he was in was it The Christmas Story? It was one of those movies, like Home Alone or something. Donald Trump is a cameo in it, the kid protagonist just bumps into him, and Donald Trump's go that way, and then that's it. It'd be like if you got an Emmy for that. It's or an Oscar for that. It's what? Yeah, so that's our right-wing article, just, tearing apart Stacey Abrams, a typical person to tear apart if you're a right-winger. So let's move on, guys, to our left wing. We're going to go right-left today, and we're going to go straight to grist.org. Once again, in the description below. Headline reads, a $100 billion promise holds the Paris Agreement together. Now it's coming apart. Subheadline, rich countries are failing to put the money behind their promises. And this is by Shannon Osaka. It goes, for decades, rich and poor countries were trapped in a stalemate of how to deal with the carbon dioxide heating the planet. And that more than half of the carbon dioxide comes to the United States. But for developing countries, China and India, it says it's unfair to make them stop using carbon dioxide and to make them pay for it. And there's $100 billion It doesn't really say what this money's for. It just says they're gonna pay it to like stop fossil fuels, I guess, maybe like solar research or something. So click this on the article in the link below. Oh, excuse me again. This is kind of a short read, and guys, I don't really have much to say about this, but like, if you can actually tell me what the Paris Agreement does and why it's a good thing in the comments, I will send that person $5 of Bitcoin. Because I don't see much good about other countries like telling other countries how to run their like economy. Like, guys, the energy sector is why you're watching me on YouTube right now. It's why you can drive to work. It's why your glasses have plastic frames, or your phone has plastic in it, or your everything plastic comes from fossil fuels. Unless we get hemp plastic, guys. I'm all for hemp. All right, I want to let everyone know that I'm gonna shill hemp till the day I die, because it's good stuff, guys. Well, what this article comes to the core of is the Paris Climate Accord, which, I mean, it's hard. What are they gonna do with the 100 billion? Where's this 100 billion going? Where is it going? But it's kind of set up in such a way. I know a little bit about it, that there's developed countries and developing countries and like undeveloped countries. And like United States, England, Germany, these are developed countries. Canada, developed. China and India, though, are considered developing countries, which gives them more leeway as far as fossil fuel production and like carbon waste goes. Because, you know, as we know, like China, like 85% of electricity for 1 billion people comes from burning coal. So the dirtiest way to get the electricity. And same with India. But for some reason, people always talk about the United States being so horrible, but, you know, like, most like innovations that reduce fossil fuel emissions do come from the United States or other developed countries like Europe. Guys, aside from, you know, the politics around it, I don't understand why we don't have nuclear power. Like, at this point, if there's nuclear waste, we could just send it into space or the bottom of the ocean, deep under a rock. And it's like, yeah, guys, for a piece of uranium, like, as big as this little jar, a piece of uranium as big as this jar, you know, it's like that big. It's like, you know, 34, like, the amount of energy in a piece of, like, uranium like this is like a whole train of coal. Like a whole freight train full of coal. And there's a lot of uranium on Earth. We already have a lot of it ready to go. Why don't we have nuclear power? You know, people worry about meltdowns and whatnot, but like, when has meltdowns happened? There's Chernobyl. Guys, that was Soviet Ukraine trying to run. You know, it's like they were extremely in the like worst situation. Like the worst people to be doing that were the ones doing it. So yeah, obviously it didn't work out. You had the meltdown in Japan because it got hit by a flippin' tsunami. You can't really affect that besides like make it so the tsunami won't affect the facility. So guys, why can't you put a nuclear facility underground in an old mine shaft? I'm just coming up with ideas here, because one nuclear plant can power like a whole region of a country. Like, you could have like one nuclear plant per state, and that'd be it. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, that's not good enough. It has to be solar, which is like pretty good, but it gets dark sometimes. Like every day will get dark. And I really hate when people talk about windmills, because they just don't do anything actually good, guys. It's well known that my plate falling. Guys, it's well known that windmills kill a ton of birds, migrating birds, and they don't offset the carbon footprint of making the windmill. Because, right, these windmills are made in factories and they have to be trucked in and then built. And then, like, we got to end the windmills, guys. We really got to get rid of them because they don't do anything. They're terrible for the windmills are horrible for the environment and they don't give you much energy. And I'm not buying that for a split second. It's tiny little second, guys. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to buy that. Not buying the windmills. I'll buy solar in the middle of the desert, and I'll buy nuclear anywhere on Earth. We don't need to burn coal. We don't need to. It's easy. It's really easy. It just sets on fire and just makes steam, and it powers a turbine. So what am I getting at with this here article, guys? This video is kind of running long. Nuclear power is pretty much the best option we have as, like, the human species right now to produce electricity. And once we have fission, or no, fusion, once we have a fusion reactor, it's literally the sun. It's the same way the sun makes energy. We could build our own sun. Guys, nuclear is like it's a really pretty great way to get energy. It's like amazing. But people don't like it because they see the steam stacks. Like when you see a nuclear power plant, there's no smoke, there's no waste. It's just steam and hot water that comes out of it. And yeah, you have the depleted uranium waste, but you can use those to make tank armor, which the United States does do. Or you could just shoot it into space. I mean, we shoot stuff into space every day. Guys, I don't see why that's such a big issue. Someone explain that to me, please, in the comments. Why you can't just shoot nuclear waste into space. Right? Because you can get mad energy out of that. So let's finish up today with our middle of the road article here at Daily Mail. And this is going to be in the description. Headline: Biden calls GOP voting bills odious and vicious and are the most significant threat to democracy since the Civil War. Oh, excuse me again, guys. In speech, it's the most significant threat since the Civil War. In speech attacking the Supreme Court, Trump's, quote, big lie and the assault on elections. The subheadlines are: Biden launched a counter-assault to attempts by states to change voting rights. It's pretty long. So basically, Biden gave the speech that, like, we need to protect voting rights. Right. And that, he basically said Trump, once again, they're still talking about Trump. Like, I don't know why he's gone. And, they say, like, oh, they're trying to make people not be able to vote, basically. Biden said, in America, if you lose, you accept the results, you follow the Constitution. And guys, I encourage you to read this yourself, because here's my one big take on the election, and people still fighting about it. If you genuinely won, Joe Biden, why does it matter to you if they audit these elections? If you really won, why does it matter if they see if there were bad votes? If you won by the margin you believe that you did. They say you did. Why does it matter? Right? Just let states audit their vote. I mean, it's a state thing, elections. Like, that's pretty much how it's set up. So that's the news today, guys. I hate to run on for too long. Recapping, Stacey Abrams might get an Emmy for her performance. Guys, the Paris Climate Accord is falling apart because China and India won't keep their end of the stick very predictably, but they're going to try and tax us developed country people for that. And finally, guys, Biden is saying we need to protect election integrity. That's what he's saying. Guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, check out these articles, and read them for yourself. Don't ever just listen to me without reading them for yourself. Guys, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.